Talkfunding backstory. And here we are with Gary from Calm Storm Games, who are live on Kickstarter with Bunny Brawl. Gary, I'm gonna there's so many things I want to ask you, but I'm really going to hand it over to you in terms of your backstory. Is like, how did a busy dad with 4 kids come up with this thing of this is where we are in September 2021 at time of recording, okay? End of September, coming up the end of your campaign, you have smashed your goal, you're nearly double your goal, and let's double your goal in the next few days, right? But how did you reach this point? What was your journey to get to this point where you've got your first game has been a success on Kickstarter, and I'm sure we'll finish off the interview talking about how else you want to steer your company, Calm Store Games, into the future. But pardon my language, how did you get here, Gary? What is your entrepreneurial journey? And maybe, let's go. Tell me.
Okay. I mean, it's been a journey. It's been a real journey to get here. So I guess the first the sparks, the ember of the creative journey that took me here was, as I've alluded to on the campaign page, actually, I was playing a game with my youngest daughter, Cece, who I don't know if I can say the name of the game. I don't know how the legal stuff works, but it involves llamas and it involves pajamas. And essentially, it was one of these kids, cardboard tiles that you have to match the pajamas with the llamas and stuff like that. And it was once you've got the bottom, you need to match it with the top. And that's obviously where the parallel with the holes and the bunnies has ended up. After I'd played this game with her, I created a game just for the kids. Essentially, it was for no one else. It was for no one's benefit. It was to just keep the kids entertained, just for something fun for them. They were massively into Harry Potter at the time, and I just sort of created it was like a normal deck of cards that I adapted the theme for it, and there were spells and stuff that were involved. And then after playing that, my better half suggested, you should probably do this for realsies, for in real life, because you've got a real knack for this. The kids absolutely loved it, and I went, yeah, it was just for the kids. There's no pressure, there's no goals. I haven't got anyone breathing down my neck. I don't know if I want to do this. And then she kept pushing and kept pushing me to just do it, just create something, just do it. And that's where the inception of Bunny Brawl sort of started, really. I was still working for another company at the time when this whole process started. And I think one of the common misconceptions, I think, with looking at my campaign page is that there are a team of people behind this, because there isn't. It's just me and my other half. That's it. And I've had to learn a lot along the way. It's been a huge learning curve in terms of getting video editing software to create that introduction video. I had no experience with video editing. That intro video was all me watching YouTube videos, so it wasn't like I was experienced in any of this. In terms of the graphics for the campaign page, again, I had no experience, and honestly, with 4 kids, I couldn't afford to pay for someone to do it either. So, just paying for the artwork, I think, with the guy who's doing our artwork, was certainly my biggest concern, because it was a financial risk, a personal financial risk for myself. If the game didn't work out, if it didn't get funded, then I've just spent all of that money on the artwork for absolutely nothing. And think of all the things I could have spent that money on otherwise. So yeah, when I was in a position where I was leaving the job that I was in at the time, with my last paycheck from that company, my missus said to me, pay for that artwork. And I said, I don't have another job yet. We have nothing sorted. We have no funds to fall back on. And she said, I don't care, just do it. And she egged me on to spend my last paycheck on the artwork for Bunny Brawl. And thankfully, it seems to have worked out so far. But it was a real worry. It was a real concern that, you know, I'd invested so much of my own time, more so my own time and effort in, you know, not only creating the game, but the whole process around it, the whole, you know, putting the campaign page together and learning how the software and all of this kind of stuff. And there were so many things, I guess, along the way that I hadn't anticipated even being things that I would need to think about, you know. And you think, oh, anyone could do a Kickstarter campaign. You know, take one look at Kickstarter, and there are some, you know, obviously there are some outstanding campaigns that have got teams of people working for them. And then you've got, you know, the guys that are on their own, like me, that may not look as, you know, flashy or professional, and, you know, it's just not within the budget. But, you know, I wanted to make it look like we're nearly there. You know, we've got the concept, we've got the idea, we've got a good game here that needs to be seen by. My cat's attacking me again. I'm so sorry.
Not at all, Guy. I mean, it's really surprised. One sense, I'm pleasantly surprised, and well done you and your better half, because, you know, I whenever I look at the page, as you can imagine, I look at literally dozens of pages a week, and you know, it's a really well done, really well laid out page.
Thank you.
Did you get any sort of advice at all in supporting this?
No, is the short answer. I looked at other Kickstarter campaigns, other successful Kickstarter campaigns. I obviously drew inspiration from them in terms of, you know, what the basic elements were to get a campaign together. You need a pretty slick video. You need some pretty cool graphics. You need a good game first and foremost. But it was literally just observe and then create. Yeah, I didn't speak to anyone, I guess, for professional advice. It was just, let's just do it. Yeah.
Well, that is one thing that I've definitely learned out of doing Talkfunding. What works is a quality product, and this is clearly a quality product, and people really get what the product is. In this case, it's a really good, cute and chaotic card game, which is like, I'm laughing again. So it's fun, it's engaging, it works for all ages, and really that's what's shining through in terms of your Kickstarter campaign. So well done yourself and your better half, for he was seemed to be in the background just pushing you on. I mean, that's a lovely story, and thank you for sharing it regarding your last paycheck, you know, particularly with you know, your 4 kids going okay, you know, so that's really wonderful. And it's so nice that your brother and your kids, etc., there's different testimonials, so you're getting the honest feedback from I think it was a 7-year-old,
CC,
you know, so you're getting great feedback from everything. Can I ask you, I mean, you've done so well, I mean, what pre-planning did you do to start the campaign? I mean, you've just came out with, and you've got, like, at the time of recording, it's like over 243 or so backers now. How did you build that up, Gary?
How did I build the audience up?
Yeah, how did you do that?
I didn't, is the honest answer. Being brutally honest, you know, when it came to launching the campaign, I knew that a lot. Well, I mean, obviously, I backed Kickstarter campaigns myself. You know, we've bought games from Kickstarter, and one of the things that, you know, we've noticed with the successful campaigns is they have a sort of pre-launch advertisement run to sort of get some engagement, get some people following the game before it actually launches, so that when, you know, the day comes for launch, everyone who is following gets notified, and then they all rush to buy the game straight away, and it's all fantastic. Well, our experience with that wasn't particularly great, in all honesty. I mean, we've got a website, obviously, and we'd set up a sign-up thing. Obviously, my budget wasn't huge, you know, certainly not compared to other Kickstarter projects. So we were just running, you know, Facebook ads as and when we could sort of afford a spare few quid. But we had, I don't know, certainly less than 100 email signups, most of which I would say were friends and family that we already knew. We're very fortunate in that our friends and family have been such big supporters of ours. And as soon as that launch day came, honestly, most of the people that back backed it on day one were, of course, our friends and family. But yeah, aside from that, the pre-launch stuff, there was very, very little. There were companies that I'd asked to see, you know, if we could get a boost in sort of, you know, sign-ups and an email list. I think is one of the important things that a lot of companies were saying. Well, you need at least 500 people on an email list before we'll consider working with you. And I just wasn't in that position, so it was like, I guess I got to do it myself then. Okay, so yeah, that's it in a nutshell.
But it's grown beyond friends and families. It's over 240. I mean, now it's got a life of its own. And I mean, that's the other question is, you know, at time of recording, you've got 3 full days to go here. And I'll put the website link. Is that one way to engage with you after the Kickstarter finishes? Is that probably the best way to contact you?
Yes, certainly. So we've got info@bunnybrawl is our email address as well. That's also on the website. But yeah, if you want to, I guess if you comment on the campaign and stuff as well, we're pretty hot when it comes to the comments on the campaign page as well. The engagement that we've had from our backers has just been great. They are the best community that we formed.
And it's funny. It's funny. I mean, it's great to hear. I mean, one thing I'm just laughing because, like, the email again, folks, is info@bunnybrawl.com. Okay, so like, it's a very memorable email. Like, you know, that's like info@bunnybrawl.com. Can I ask you? I mean, just before we talk about the engagement with this community that you're creating, the crowd that you're community that you're actually growing, where did Calm Storm Games come from? How do you have Calm and Storm? Where did that come from?
I can't remember what the actual name for a word like this is, but is it an antonym or something? Something that contradicts itself. So a good friend of mine, and he's a backer of the campaign, G. We used to work together, and we wrote stories. Like I do some writing as well. I'm not claiming I'm a prolific author or anything. But we did this while we were at work, and it was sort of his pen name was Calm Storm. And he gave me my pen name of Honest Rogue, which again is a sort of, you know, I don't know if it's an antonym, but yeah, Honest Rogue is my sort of username for like games and stuff as well. So it's a name that I adopted from him. I asked his permission if I could use his pen name for it. So I wish it was of my own invention, but it was one of my closest friends who came up with that I've hijacked.
Oh, fantastic. And then let's just, I mean, I think that's so endearing that you've now built a community through the comments section and probably through your other social media channels. Can you say something a little about that, please? Yeah,
so there are a few super backers on our campaign. Colin, who is the best, by the way, he's one of our backers. He comments regularly. He's so positive, he's so upbeat, and he's been sort of running our comment section as much as we have, in all honesty. You know, the engagement that we've had from people has just been great. You know, when it came to even before the campaign and taking it to like board game cafes and, you know, games expos and stuff like that, when it was, you know, people who we didn't know just play testing the game for the first time, it was just overwhelming positive feedback. You know, I think the difficulty for us was to just get people to play the game, to just experience it firsthand, and you'll understand how much fun it is to play. But I guess that's part of the challenge with any Kickstarter game, isn't it? Because you know, as a creator, how much fun can be had playing this game. But the people that have play tested it, the people that have backed it, and that we've engaged with, and across all of our social media as well, has just been so overwhelmingly positive. We've done a few competitions as well for some exclusive Bunny Brawl t-shirts that cannot be purchased anywhere, essentially. We had a like show me a picture of your pet type competition, and it was judged by the kids, so they decided ultimately who got the t-shirt. Some of them were outstanding. They had bunnies in costumes with wigs and all sorts. It was just fantastic. And I think it's tomorrow, actually, we're going to Sliced and Diced, which is a board game cafe in Birmingham, and we're live streaming actual playing of Bunny Brawl, and we're doing it in conjunction with Raise Your Game, which is a charity for Dementia UK. And there's going to be donations and stuff throughout the evening. You can donate through the live stream. All the details of that will be on the campaign as well. But we're doing a giveaway with that. So anyone who donates to Dementia UK during the live stream will be entered into a draw to have a custom card made for them that will actually go into the final game. So yeah.
Oh, fantastic. And maybe come back and tell us. I mean, that's just wonderful, because it's like, it's creating such value in society, basically, because it's like Raise Your Game is what for people with dementia. It's charity based.
That's right.
And like, clearly the cute and chaos nature of your game is for all ages, not just the cute 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds, but for the 70-year-olds. And my mum had dementia, so I've been on that journey with someone, and it's wonderful that you're doing that. So thank you so much for contributing and partnering. I mean, I wish you every success with that sort of partnership. That's just wonderful.
Thank you.
And really, one thing I would say in terms of just sharing people, building crowds, etc. I did a lovely interview, and I'll link that in the description below, with Parker. He was in his basement in San Francisco. It was a classic American basement. He had all his tools behind him and all that sort of thing. And he actually designed a Tego travel case. And he was on his third iteration of this, and he built these. Now it's like, by the third iteration, it's now really kicking ass. It's modular. You can add what you want, take away what you want, and everything. Right. But his strength is, and it's so great to hear that you're building a community by his third campaign, end of his second campaign. He was actually people not physically knocking on his door, but saying, "Hey, we want to contribute," and that sounds to be the way that you're going. We want to be involved in design ideas, etc., for the game, and you're so open and positive about things, Gary. I'm sure that could be part of the Calmstorm Games company initiative. I mean, without giving too much away, I mean, I'd say you have other ideas in the pipeline. Would that be correct?
Yes. Yes. So I've got probably another 2 or 3 in the pipeline. One, in fact, I made. It sort of struck me quite recently. So I went to see a show at the West End recently with the missus. We actually had a free day to ourselves, and we, it was sort of like a mid-campaign treat for us, because we knew it was going to be a stressful journey. So we had a nice day out, saw a show, and on the train journey back from London, I had my notebook and my pen, and I was just scribbling ideas like a madman. So yeah, the next one looks to be that, and it should be probably about 5 times bigger than the Bunny Brawl box. Let's just put it that way.
Well, there you go, guys. You heard it on Talkfunding first. Yep. Exclusive, Talkfunding exclusive. Gary, the Calmstorm Games. Gary's beginning to give us a little peek into the next game that'll be coming, I hope, the Kickstarter. And please, my friend, come back to Talkfunding pre-launch next time, and we can really talk about this your next game. But in this game, and let's just finish up this fascinating and lovely backstory. I'd like to thank Gary from Calmstorm Games, and I wish you all the best for this campaign, which is Bunny Brawl. It's a really great game. I'm laughing again. It's for cute and chaos, and it's just a wonderful game for people to really interact with each other. So precious in this age now. People of all ages can interact and have a laugh together. Absolutely wonderful, my friend, and what a lovely way to finish the interview. So thank you very much, my friend, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you for having me.
Cheers, mate. Bye now.
Take care.